What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. Warframe. We got a lot to talk about. Basically, most of this stuff is going to be related to the plains of Eidolon and everything that's coming up. I've known about this for a couple days, but we're able to talk about it now publicly. This is most of the stuff will be over in the Remote Observer Volume 14 as well. So I just kind of want to address a few of these things. We're going to address here focus, sortie rewards, UI and UX changes that are coming here. We'll talk a little bit about damage fall off. We'll get into some of the console stuff that's coming up here. It is my understanding the consoles are going to receive 21.7 this week. So that should be a good thing. If you guys have not already gotten it, you will be getting it. For PC, just off the bat, anything, if you're waiting for any hotfixes or patches, there will be none until the Plains of Eidolon releases. Their full focus is on Plains of Eidolon at this time. I'm trying not to say POE because the thing is, like, when I think POE, I think Path of Exiles. So it's kind of weird, but Plains of Eidolon, okay? And I really want them to focus on this because, as I've said, I don't know how many videos now, this is going to be an update. This is the largest update ever, and it will redefine the game for now as we know it and future expansion, if you will. We'll talk about it as expansion because that's basically what we're looking at. Now, the focus system. So, some more details are shared in the dev workshop next week that they plan on doing. But for now, what they're talking about is some structural changes. So, the core of the rework is to shift the goals of focus system from supplementing warframes to making your operator more combat ready. And maybe that'll make me want to play with the operator more than I do now, or use the operator more than I do now. Maybe it'll even make me want to go ahead and do my next mastery rank, which I just haven't done because I really do not enjoy the operator experience as it currently stands, so I have no interest in going to the next level of my mastery. But basically what this means is there's going to be more of a balance between passive and actives, okay? And they are not solely, but they are actively experimenting with something what they're calling residuals, which they're going to talk about a little bit more soon. They're going to try something new, basically, but they haven't gotten it all worked out in details yet. So, also, each school is going to be tailored to alter your operator's abilities to fill specific roles of combat classes. So this is something that they set up from the get-go, and it's why the original focus choice was very RPG feeling in the dialogue, but never really implemented that way. So the classic RPG classes are a good analog here. So if you think the Cleric, which would be Vazarin, or you think the Wizard, which is Zenaric, or you think the Fighter, which is Madarai, the Rogue, Naramon, or the Paladin, being Inaro. Okay, but obviously with the Warframe twist on it. Now, for the most popular perks, like Energy Overflow, it means that they have to do some deliberating. Right now, they're trying to decide based on constructive contributions, if you will, what it means to call the Zenaric passive an essential thing. And if something like that maybe shouldn't be locked behind a focus school, but instead available in some other way. So that way it's available in general, not just locked behind the one. As it will. So while they don't want Warframe to be like an infinite power spam, the game itself, they do want bonus energy regen systems, choices to exist within the investment, and likely they're going to decouple it from the focus system at this point. So we're going to see some kind of change on the energy overflow. We're going to see it not part of the focus system. And I don't know exactly how that's going to work at this point, but, you know, I'm interested. I'm very interested. In terms of other things, so we'll have the sortie rewards that are going to be changing, and this is really interesting. They've been looking into adding Kuva to the sortie drop table. That better not actually be a reward. It should just be in sortie missions, but it shouldn't be as a reward because God, if I spent all my time doing a sortie and all I got in a drop table was 4,000 kuva, I would be so pissed off. Worse than getting a sculpture, to be honest. But uh, but they're gonna work on, you know, final drop chance, drop amounts, and stuff like that. And this would mean that they are basically going to move lenses to a new home, possibly on the Cetus. So we would see the shift of lenses and greater lenses taken out of the sortie rewards and Kuva put into it, which isn't horrible, but it all is going to depend upon how much Kuva they're giving us, to be honest. I mean, if I don't have to farm Kuva constantly and I can get it once in a while in a sortie reward, I guess maybe it's okay as long as the drop chances are not too high, taking away from other things. So moving on, some of the UI UX changes. When socketing stars into Iton sculptures as they currently stand, you know, we always get that "Are you sure?" prompt. They're going to make that so that way you only see that prompt one time. So if you've got 4 stars to put in, then you're only going to see that prompt one time instead of 4 freaking times, which is a nice thing to see. So in terms of, let's see, they added a delete all red messages to our inbox. So you know that inbox in game that you have tons and tons of messages and takes a lifetime to delete them. If they even delete, most of them don't always delete when they're supposed to. So they're going to add that in there, but note that it currently does not apply to community messages. So anything that's a community message that comes in through the inbox, that will not get deleted, but that could still cut down on a lot of stuff in your inbox. They're going to add a Corpus Outpost and a Grenier Shipyard tile set level to the interception mix for some variation in the UI here, or the UX, whatever you want to call it. Companions will no longer lose integrity if a print is in the process of being distilled to prevent unexpected death. That's a nice thing. So your pet won't die when it's, when you're distilling it, if you will. When you're making your pet, when it's in the process. The gear wheel. This is nice. They're increasing it from 8 slots as it currently is to 12 slots. So that just means more keybinds, but more things that you can put in there. So now you'll be able to carry more stuff. I've got plenty of things I'd love to be able to put in there, and four additional slots will be nice. It's just going to be a matter of going back through my keybinds and adding 4 more in there. Anyway. Okay, and then finally, for the PC stuff, I want to talk a little bit about the damage fall off. There's not a lot going on there. If I can remember, I will put a link in the description below in this video. That'll link you over to the forums post on this. But basically, most weapons will be given a form of damage fall off after about 300 meters. Snipers are going to be around 600 meters in response to a increased distance between you and your enemies in the Plains of Eidolon update. So the full dev workshop on this chance, including illustration, illustrations of the distance, can be found in that link. I will remember to put it in there somehow. So that's basically what we know right now in terms of some of this update stuff that's coming in terms of the big update. There's going to be a lot more information. So as I get it and I'm allowed to distribute it and whatnot, I will definitely quickly get it up in a video and get it out. You guys can find out what's going on and discuss it, so forth and so on. Now, some of the stuff for consoles, in missions, they're going to remove the explosion delay from the Javelok spear when thrown fully charged. Excalibur's Proto and Nemesis Nemesis skins will have the PVR treatment in your update. They're going to fix Limbo's Cataclysm, not putting defense objectives into the Rift. Mod drops by the Razorback Armada now properly list their drop location. The mission voting screen is in endless missions will now proceed immediately if the squad votes in ununanimous type of way, so it'll proceed. Removed the Capture Arsenal console from Capture Levels due to it looking out of place. You can still access this from your Arsenal menu. And upon dying in the simulator, your Warframe will insta-revive instead of having to initiate the revive. So those are some interesting stuff. Hydroid stuff, I mean, most of the stuff the console's getting with the 21.7 update is basically stuff that we already have, and you've probably already heard of most of the things here. Hydroid's base energy is going to be increased up to 188 at rank 30. Allies can shoot their weapons into Hydroid's undertow to transfer half of their damage and distribute it among all enemies in the puddle. Undertow's damage per second is now a % of the target max health, and the damage now scales with the amount of enemies in the pool. Sentinel's abilities are now disabled while in undertow. And then you've got a couple mission challenges here. The Hacker Mission Challenge. The Hack 1 console will no longer appear if the mission has no consoles to hack. Additionally, it can no longer be rolled in Survival, Hijack, or Defection, because those mission types give you a console to hack for free at the beginning. These are just the challenge missions that you get. Okay. They removed the Stealth Mission Challenge from missions where you're not likely to be able to complete it. So Defense, Survival, Interception, Excavation, Defection, as well as any mission against the infested faction. It will no longer be rolled for public matchmaking missions, since other players are likely to go loud and alert the enemies, basically. It's not that you couldn't do those, but in a public role, it just won't work. And then they removed the Style Kill Challenge, which is get 5 kills while sliding in Arcwing missions. Why, you can't slide in an Arcwing? Gosh, I can slide in an Arcwing. I don't know about you. Or at least maybe in my dreams. I don't know. Anyway, so that's basically what's going on inside that remote observer. Just some pretty interesting stuff. I'm interested to see about these focus changes. The Sortie reward changes. Yeah, I'd be happy to see the lenses taken out and moved. Not necessarily to the Cetus, because that's just something we don't even need in the new area already. But we'll see. I mean, I say that now, but with things that are coming up when the focus changes, these lenses may become something very important in how they work. We don't even know. So anyway, I will catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you later.